Viranpur Valley was nestled amidst hills. A river flowed through it. The valley was green and alive. It was home to many animals. The people of Viranpur loved their valley. They lived in harmony with nature. They cared for the trees and the animals. Viranpur was a happy place. The villagers always helped each other. They celebrated festivals together. They believed in living simply. The air was fresh. The water was pure. The people were content. Life was peaceful in Viranpur. Shiva was a young boy. He lived in Viranpur, a small village surrounded by lush greenery and vibrant wildlife. The village was nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, making it a paradise for anyone who loved nature. Shiva loved to spend time outdoors. Every morning, he would wake up to the sound of chirping birds and the rustling of leaves. The fresh air and the scent of blooming flowers filled his heart with joy. He felt most alive in nature. The forest was his sanctuary, a place where he could escape the worries of the world and immerse himself in the beauty of the natural surroundings. The forest was his playground. He would spend hours climbing trees, exploring hidden trails, and discovering new plants and animals. The river was his swimming pool. On hot summer days, he would dive into the cool, refreshing water, feeling the gentle current carry him downstream. The animals were his friends. He had a special bond with them, understanding their needs and caring for them as if they were his own family. Shiva could understand the language of animals. He would listen to their calls and respond with kindness. Creating a harmonious relationship with the creatures of the forest, he would talk to the birds. They would sing back to him, their melodies filling the air with a sense of peace and tranquility. He would play with the squirrels. Their playful antics brought a smile to his face, and he would often share his snacks with them. He would even help the ants carry food. Watching them work together taught him the value of teamwork and perseverance. Shiva knew every corner of the forest. He could navigate through the dense trees with ease, finding his way even in the darkest parts of the woods. He knew the secrets of the trees. Each tree had a story to tell, and Shiva would spend hours listening to the whispers of the leaves and the creaking of the branches. He felt the pulse of the earth beneath his feet. The soil was warm and alive, connecting him to the very heart of nature. He was a true child of nature. Shiva's bond with the natural world was unbreakable, and he cherished every moment spent in its embrace. One serene day, young Shiva found himself sitting by the river, the gentle sound of flowing water soothing his mind and soul. The forest around him was alive with the whispers of nature, each sound telling a story. As he sat there, he noticed bees buzzing around a vibrant flower. Their tiny wings created a soft hum that filled the air. He observed how they worked together in perfect harmony, each bee playing its part. Teamwork is important, Shiva realized as he watched their synchronized dance. Later, his attention was drawn to a line of ants carrying food back to their colony. They moved with determination and purpose. Despite their small size, the ants were incredibly strong and persistent. Perseverance is key, Shiva learned as he marveled at their strength and dedication. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the landscape, Shiva saw a peacock dancing gracefully. Its movements were mesmerizing. The peacock's feathers were a riot of colors, each hue more vibrant than the last. "Embrace beauty," the peacock seemed to say as it proudly displayed its plumage. Shiva learned valuable lessons from nature that day. He realized that every creature, no matter how small, had something to teach. He learned about kindness from the bees, courage from the ants, and resilience from the peacock. Each encounter left a lasting impression on his young mind. Shiva realized that nature had much to teach, and he felt a deep sense of gratitude for the wisdom it shared. The whispers of nature had spoken, and he was ready to listen. Section 4. The Raging Inferno. One hot summer day, a fire broke out in the forest. The wind spread the fire quickly. Soon, the entire forest was ablaze. The villagers were terrified. The fire was approaching their homes. They didn't know what to do. Shiva saw the fear in everyone's eyes. He knew he had to do something. He remembered the lessons he had learned from nature. Section 5. Nature's Guiding Hand. In the heart of the dense forest where the river meandered through the lush greenery, life thrived in harmony. The forest was a sanctuary, a place where every creature had a role to play. Suddenly, Shiva noticed the animals. They were not just wandering aimlessly, there was a sense of urgency in their movements. The deer grazed quickly, the birds took flight in a flurry, and the other animals seemed to be communicating silently. They were running towards the river. It was as if an invisible force was guiding them, a force that Shiva could not yet comprehend. The animals moved with purpose, their instincts leading them to safety. They seemed to know the way to safety. Shiva understood. The animals were following an ancient path, one that had been etched into their very being by generations of survival. The river was their only hope. Its clear waters promised refuge from the impending danger. Shiva felt a deep connection to the animals and the land, realizing that they were all part of a larger, interconnected web of life. He ran to the village headman. His heart pounded with urgency as he explained what he had witnessed. The headman listened intently, his face growing more serious with each passing moment. "Follow the animals!" he shouted. The villagers gathered around, their faces etched with worry and confusion. Shiva's voice carried a conviction that was hard to ignore. The villagers hesitated at first, but they trusted Shiva. They had seen his respect for nature and his wisdom in times of crisis. Slowly, they began to follow his lead. They followed the animals toward the river. The journey was not easy, but the sight of the animals moving confidently gave them hope. They knew they were on the right path. The animals led them to a safe place by the river. Here, the air was cooler and the threat of the fire seemed distant. The villagers felt a wave of relief wash over them. The villagers watched as the fire raged on the other side. The flames consumed the trees and vegetation, but they were safe. The river had become their shield, a barrier against the destruction. They were safe, thanks to the animals. The villagers gathered by the river, their faces reflecting a mix of relief and gratitude. They understood the importance of the natural world in a way they never had before. Shiva realized the wisdom of nature. He saw how the animals had guided them, how the river had protected them. It was a lesson he would never forget. He vowed to protect it always. The forest, the river, the animals, they were all part of a delicate balance that needed to be preserved. He knew that nature was not just beautiful, but also a source of knowledge and guidance. It was a living, breathing entity that held the secrets to survival and harmony. And from that day forward, Shiva dedicated himself to being its guardian.